Oh, lovely day in the neighborhood. It's 80 degrees. Jeez. So I went to the Walmart gas station. And this particular one's really dead. There's hardly anybody goes in there. And you have a blessed day, miss.
You have a great day.
All right. That's a sweet elder black lady that has been long with us. What a mess, but anyway. Black people are super, super religious, but the kindest thing you can say to them is to have a blessed day. And they just, that's just, you know, like the cherry on top. They just really love those good wishes. Anyway, I went to the Walmart gas station and I bought $2 worth of lottery tickets for the Play 4. Because this get my hit again. And the guy behind the counter asked me for ID, and I'm looking at the counter. I'm like, I'm not buying cigarettes or liquor. And he said, yes, but you're buying lottery. I said, but don't you have to be 18 and over to buy lottery? And he says, yes. I said, well, okay. He says, I have to do that because you're wearing a mask. I said, well, thank you for the compliment. And I showed him my ID. And then this older lady behind me, she said, what I do when I come in here is I just pull my mask off. And it's like, well, then why bother wearing one? You know? I mean, I went over to the Dollar Tree to look for some tarps. And this Dollar Tree out here used to be like it was closing. They wouldn't have hardly anything on the shelves because the management was so poor. And they finally got rid of her and brought a lady in from out of town or out of state. She got that thing yanked up, boom, boom. So it looks like a store instead of like they're moving out. But, so I'm standing in line, and this guy was in line, and he walked away, and is looking at a bunch of other stuff, and over here, and over there. So I'm behind that very nice black lady, and she turns around, you know, we're all 6 foot apart, and she turns around, and she sees the guy standing over there, because, you know, the line has to go down the aisle, but he's going to go sideways, which is really problematic when other people come. And so, anyway, she looks over at him, she says, sir, she got about 40 items. She says, sir, if you'd like to go ahead of me. And he said, well, I've got this lady in front of me. And so the lady says, well, would you like to go in front of me? To me. And I said, no, I'm fine just like this, because when we start shuffling around, then we're going to get less than 6 foot apart. And I don't want to do that. You know, it's just better we just stay where we're at. For me. So then the guy says, well, okay, then I'll go ahead. And this is the guy behind me. So what the hell? How stupid is that? He had about the same amount of items I did. I just had like 5 or 6. And I just shook my head like, what a butthole. And then she kind of looked back like she knew that was retarded. Because he just walks right completely around in front of the register and walks through the line, through people, and jumps on in there. And I just shook my head. And then she says, would you like to go in front of me? I'll move out of the way. And this is an older black lady. She's just precious. Probably just got out of church. And I said, well, I mean, it's not important. It's okay. I said, we can stay where we're at. And she's like, no, you just go right ahead. I'm gonna move out of the way. It'll be fine. And And I'm like, I just try to keep that 6-foot rule. That's just my biggest concern. And she backs way out and lets me on in. And she looks at me and she says, you know, I came in this store to buy one thing. She says, and I got all these. And she had little tiny things. You know, I mean, she got candle, you know, some pens, just a little bitty stuff. And I said, yeah, it's like Walmart. You go in there, buy 99-cent spool of thread, and you come out buying $100 worth of stuff. I said, I think it's a subliminal trick. And the checker looked just sad. I don't know. I felt bad for her. There was a young man that worked there a while back. And he was so good to people. And he looked like an ex-method. He had really bad rotted teeth. He was kind of hyper, real thin. But he was really good to the people, just really nice. And so one day I told the manager of that store, I said, you know, this guy's just fantastic. Well, the manager of that store kind of sucked. It was an older lady, and she kind of sucked. She's the one that ruined that store. And so, every time I go in there, that guy was so nice and so friendly, and just really, really helpful and cheerful. And he was homeless at that time. He had told me he was homeless, and he was just working to make enough money to get a place to live. And he was really excited. And even one time I came in there, well, I'll tell you that in a minute. Let's go back to this. So, you know, I was really excited for him because he was, you know, working, and he wanted to get all the hours he could get so he could get a place. And he didn't even want to look at places till he got money. And so I just really was impressed with him, and I thought he would make, you know, a great long-term employee for anyone. And you know, he's under bad circumstances of his own, but he was working to get himself out of the situation. You gotta have respect for that. So I called corporate, and this is Dollar Tree stores, and I called corporate and talked to them for about 30 minutes. I said, this guy is really, really good. And I said, you should wish that the rest of your employees were this good, because he's got the ultimate personality, and he's fast. You know, which if you ever go into Dollar Tree, you ever notice how damn slow they are? My gosh. I just like they're on vacation. Like, la-di-da, la-di-da. Here's one item. La-di-da, scan it. La-di-da, scan it. La-di-da. And that, they just take forever. And the whole idea is to get the people out of the store. Get that money as fast as you can over that black bill. Because that's your paycheck, bud. Get it through. It doesn't take 15 minutes to scan 10 items. So, and you don't have to really lift anything. There's nothing real heavy in that store. It's all junk from the Orient. It's cost them a penny. Or someone for $1. So, I talked to corporate for a bit, and, you know, spoke of him very, very well. Next time I went into the store, I'd gone on a trip for a little bit, and when I got back in town, I went to the store, and of course there he was, and he was all cheerful and everything, and I told him, I said, you know, I called corporate to have a little chat with him about you. And he said, really? And I said, yes. I said, you deserve so much more. I told him you deserved a raise. They really need to, you know, let you teach and train employees. And, you know, you just brighten the day. you're fast, you're sweet. And he said, okay, so let me tell you this. He said, your phone call got me my job. I said, what job? You're working here? He said, no, I'm a manager now. I said, do what? He said, they gave me a raise and they made me manager. And he said, this week, I'm going to look for a place to live, and I got my eye on a place. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So then he disappeared, and then I ran into him at another Dollar Tree out at Fort Walton. And I said, well, what are you doing? He come running down the aisles. How are you? And I said, what are you doing? I hope you're having a really great day. And he said, well, I'm still a manager, but they moved me over here. I said, oh no. I said, well, what about your place? He said, I'm getting an even better place. Oh yeah. And he still works for them. He resigned from the manager position for a couple months and then came back to it, but stayed working for them. He just wanted to be a stalker kind of thing. And but he's still working for them, and he's just the sweetest, most cheerful individual. And he did get his teeth fixed in the past couple years here. And just really a nice, bubbly, cheerful person. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. There's the man with the plan. Somebody drive right by the right side of me flying through here one day and about run me off into the dirt. And it's a merging lane into one. People do the craziest stuff. Oh, tired, I feel like crap every day. I got only a hair more sleep today, but some kooky crap going on last night. Some wench was screaming, carrying on, and acting stupid. And she worked for the place. I guess we'll run through. The car wash yoke is not too darn busy. I've got to get to work. I was going to go by and see Captain Eric this morning and see if he had any commercial property that I could use. Today's a big day. This is Sunday. I gotta get this stuff moving and grooving today, because Monday is gonna be interesting. the storage is back. I'd like to get at least 2 of them done. The big thing is we need to get a lot of stuff sold real fast today. I'd have to mark stuff down by the hour. My car drives so much better. I changed that filter out. And you know, it didn't look good. I check it all the time. I looked at it a couple weeks ago. And but even when you look at them, it's hard to tell. Because, you know, they can still be white and have embedded dirt in them and stuff, and they just can't breathe good. So, it's important for mileage, especially with fuel as high as it is, too. But, my car was kind of idling funny all of a sudden, and I thought, well, you know, it might be that filter. I mean, it's worth the $10-12 to buy it. Just change it. I hadn't changed it since like December, even though I'm just driving around town all the time. I'm not going anywhere. So I changed it out. It runs very nice. And what's really funny is I haven't been anywhere either, and I need to change the oil because my oil is starting to get dirty. And I use pretty much all Sin products, but they're super clean and they're really good. And my oil's starting to get a little dirty, so I'm going to change it. I don't do it by time increments of mileage or anything like that. I do it when it starts looking dirty. I want super clean because that's the wear of your engine. So as soon as it starts looking a little dirty, I just change it. And that could be in a month, that could be in 2 weeks, it could be in 3 months. But that's just how I do it. Been doing it for years. I've never had to buy a transmission for a car, and I never had to do any severe major work. My cars have gone for hundreds of thousands of miles. And I've given away a lot of cars, and I had a lot stolen too. Everybody always wants my cars because I really take care of them. I learned my lesson, and being in the car biz for several years, as you take care of it, it's the money, it's the value of the vehicle. So if you ever need to sell it, you get your money. Okay. I'm gonna run through here. It's not letting me through when this guy's playing with the computer. Why is this gate not working? Hello? Why is the gate not working? I don't know why the gate's not working. Mine's already paid. I have a membership. There it goes. There's a little redhead kid. He looks unhappy today. don't have time to vacuum and stuff because I've got to open for a living. And I already got a ton of messages this morning. Like they only brushed half of the back of that car. Maybe he'll get the rest. This guy looks like he's Irish.